Welcome to SpeakEasy Online. It's April 2025, and it's great to see you guys all joining us here. I must say, I've been ill today with food poisoning, so if I disappear at any minute, don't worry, I'll quickly return, but hopefully that won't happen. But it's all fun and games. Um, but yeah, I know there's a few events and bits and pieces going on that people might like to promote, so if you want to talk about those when we get to you, that sounds cool. Um, I think there is the possibility that Speakeasy will be appearing at the Culture Bazaar event in Carlisle on both Saturday the 3rd of May and Sunday the 4th of May at Richard Rose Central Academy. There'll be more details emerging once we've clarified precisely what's happening and where and when. So keep an eye on the Facebook page, and I can email things out about that. And also, there's a show and tell event happening in Bits Park, I think on the 18th of May, where we have the opportunity to read things, and Cold U Press will be there with books and other bits and pieces. Cool. Oh, and recently, just today, I was dozing in my bed as I got a message from Jaden, who many people remember used to work at the Source in Carlisle, where we do the speakeasies. And she's asked whether some poets might be interested in helping celebrate limericks at the residential home that she works at on Monday, 12th of May, which happens to be my birthday. So I might try and wrangle a few people to come along and help with reading limericks. And again, if anyone's interested, just get in touch with me and we'll sort out times and bits and pieces. Okay, well, speaking of limericks, I tried to do a limerick today, but it got abandoned. And with me being a bit under the weather, I thought that's some inspiration there, as usual, because I usually write something about when I'm ill, as people know famously or infamously. Anyway, this is the abandoned limerick. Once there was a poet named Phil who sang a song about being terribly ill. Then he was ostracized. There you go. I, yeah, I need to work on this limerick form, to be honest. But yeah, thank you. Um, okay, Kevin, did you want me to read your poem for you now?
Yeah, please.
Did you want to say anything about it?
Um, I could do, but I wrote it on in 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I used to work in a steelworks when I was a young man. That was when between the age of 20 to 22 at 1920. Hang on, I'll get this right.
Okay.
Anyway, I worked in the steelworks and I was about 20 years old, and that was before I went to art college. So actually got a drawing. I was going to try and put it on, but being ill today, I've got a drawing. I did a series of pen drawings
Mm-hmm.
in and around the area of the steelworks because it was where I was born,
Mm-hmm.
and so it kind of feeds into that. Now, I can't remember exactly in 2021 when I wrote it. What um, actually made me sort of write the poem itself? Although it's not, I didn't relate it exactly to where I worked. It
Mm.
was just steel, you know. That's what I thought about it. So over to you, Phil.
All right. Cheers. Well, I'll do my best. And yeah, obviously, steel's been in the news recently.
Yeah,
This is
quite.
this is steel. No doubt about it. Steel is steel. No ands, ifs, or buts. Nothing fancy. No swanky metaphors. It is what it is. Steel is steel. And don't forget it. Carnegie didn't. Bessemer perfected it. Sweat and blood forged it. Carnegie sold it and cornered the market. Molten steel.
Want to enlarge
Cre-
it.
Hold on, Kevin. Sweat and blood forged it, Carnegie sold it, and cornered the market. Molten steel creates its own poetry. The crucible is its home. Ingots or blitz arranged for reheating. The jaws of destruction and melody sublime. The furnace that blasts lights up the night sky. Iridescence of purple and blue cover the slag. The glowing molten mass, when poured, cools to solid steel. Make of it what you will. A million miles of rail, tempered swords and sabres, plowshares when the war is won. Make of it what you will. Tanks, howitzers, battleships, whichever way the wind blows, steel is steel, never to be forgotten. Written in the sky, the legacy of production left to haunt us. Steel is steel. Power grows from the barrel of a gun. Now, who said that? And that's Kevin O'Connor's Steel from 2021. There we are. All right. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you very much. All right. Over to Roz.
I
Oh,
going to
Ruth,
read this one.
my
I read
picture's
the
not
other
there.
week.
I'm not
Sorry.
home.
Someone's trying to talk.
Sorry.
Sorry, Kevin. We got Roz now. Roz.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me all right? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Right. This is what lies in the verges. Early spring finds me walking along small local roads. The waterlogged winter ground is still too muddy and bare. The roadside vegetation has died down. The farmers have cut back the leafless hedges. It exposes the detritus that's lying there. Masses of litter, paper, plastic, and packets discarded by passing strangers. Coffee cups thrown from car windows. Bottles and cans of energy drinks left by hurrying cyclists and walkers, the unseeing who lack the energy to carry their own waste. These are selfish, ugly people. They care little for others. But it is others who collect and clear up our environment. Beautiful people who wear rubber gloves and carry old plastic bags. They're the ones who see what lies in the verges. When new hope springs up along country lanes, as winter's scrubby verges start stirring and grassy green shoots start to cover the brown with fresh growth, it's studded with brash, glossy celandines next to pale yellow primroses, on banks dotted with violets and gleaming white anemones. The beautiful gems of the roadside bring their own rewards, and while I walked, I saw this year's first cowslip. It felt like an occasion. It felt like a victory. That's it. Thank you.
That's great, Roz. So that was that really happened, didn't it? You were doing some litter picks and things, weren't you?
I do just round here when we go out, take a bag or something. And so do lots of our neighbours, to be honest with you.
Thank you for the good work you do, because it's always sad when you see the hedgerows of the countryside all cluttered up with rubbish. It's a real shame that people can't take it home with them. Well, that's great. Thank you, Roz. Okay, over to Francis. Hello, Francis. How are we doing?
I'm all right. Yeah. I was just trying to get a picture up. When I do this poem and the words are behind me, and there can be illustrations as well, but I haven't got that because I haven't got the skill to put a picture in front of you yet. No doubt I'll work on it. Yeah, I'm going to read something. I'm quite interested in what's happening in the USA at the moment. And it seems to be beyond satire in many ways. So I was trying to think of a way to frame what's happening, given that a lot of what's happening is so dark and bizarre. And I went back to Listen with Mother. I thought that might be an interesting frame. If I go back to 1957 and put what's happening. And I had a look at 1957, and you may well remember there was a song that kids loved called Nellie the Elephant. I don't really remember. And yeah, I'm trying to think of the singer. She was a sort of child actress in the 50s. Anyway, so I thought, well, it's got an interesting tune. What if I put my poem or words to the tune of Nellie the Elephant and introduce it in terms of 1950s BBC radio? So anyway, let's give it a go. Unfortunately, you have to listen to some singing, and I use the word very loosely. So good luck with that. It's called Donny the President. This is the BBC Home Service. And now over to Daphne Oxenford for Listen with Mother. Hello, children everywhere. Today we're going to hear a song I know you all love. It's called Donny the President. Do join in the chorus with Mummy or Nanny if you can. USA, a travelling circus show. A narcissistic elephant called Donald Orange Glow. One dark day, an election bought by mates, foxy friends and influencers, Andy, Tristan, Tate. Donny the President finished a tweet at 3 o'clock in the morning. He pressed send and off it went. Trump, truth, Trump. So Donny the President's right-wing team slipped into the White House like cats with cream. Donny's wet dream, Trump, Trump, Trump. Elon Musk was calling every single day. His ketamine rants frightened the pants, and federal jobs would pay. Worse to come. Zelensky calls for a chat. You set a trap, he looks a prat. Vance is poking fun. Putin smiles, cannot believe his luck. Who needs drones when Donny phones to say he's given up? Donny the President finished a tweet at 3 o'clock in the morning. He pressed send and off it went. Trump, truth, Trump. Elon Musk was calling every single day. His coke-fueled rant frightened the pants, and federal jobs would pay. Trade wars loom. Tariffs, Donny croons. Make America gross, and then squeeze the poor till they squeal again. World's gone mad. Makes me glad. The person in charge is not Farage. Where are you, Tony Benn? Donny the President finished a tweet at 3 o'clock in the morning. He pressed send, and off it went. Trump, truth, Trump. Elon Musk was calling every single day. His chainsaw rants frightened the pants, and Tesla shares will pay. Group chat text. Hegseth, be my guest. Join a group. Get in the loop. A real-time Black Ops fest. Keir Starmer. Don't creep to this fascist car. Tell our king to give Donny a ring. To bog off. He's not welcome anymore. God help you, children, everywhere.
Oh, very good, Francis. Very good. Very good. That was, yeah. Said it all, I think. You covered most everything there, I think. Yeah, thank you. Brilliant. And don't be afraid. Singing is welcome in all forms on these gatherings. Unfortunately.
That's really.
That's great. Thank you so much. All right, Jeffrey, we're with you, Jeffrey. Hello.
Hello. Right. I won't say much about it. It's not, except to say it's not based on personal experience. Before anybody thinks it is. I'm no longer even thinking of you. So please don't go thinking that I still do. My last thought of you was when I sat on that graffitied bench by the reservoir and watched the clouds and ducks passing me by. I sat right behind you on the top deck of the bus, entranced by the nape of your neck when travelling to school all those years past, wrapped in the nearness of so much of you. And that first day, I offered to you my unopened sherbet to taste. Oh, do not laugh at my last thinking of you, for I meant all I ever said, but you didn't keep your word about loving me always, though you spoke as if you cared at that old reservoir and on the stairs at the sports hall, when brushing against you, I almost drowned with happiness in the pool beside you. And while I dressed in the light of that first dawn, when you said nothing at all could end our night of the previous day. And then I remember my last birthday during the pandemic, when you could not stay over because your mother forgot to take her heart pills, or so you said, and you tapped your phone and sent me instead those 3 emoji hearts and lips blood red with love and kisses in a hurried text, which I shall probably delete when next I find I have nothing better to do, now that I'm no longer thinking of you. The end.
So how did you come up with that one, Jeffrey? I mean, that you said that wasn't personal experience.
Oh, perspiration, lots of it. I don't know. I just, I mean, obviously the idea is it's somebody saying, look, I've forgotten you. You know, and this is my last thought of you. And of course, the thoughts keep coming. And by the end of the poem, you realize that no, he hasn't had any last thoughts. He's still thinking of the lost love. And it's just bravado, you know, or it's all talk. So it's a dramatic monologue in a sort of way. Yeah. I think that's it. That's my defense, because I do act in plays and things. So giving a character's voice is something I've often done on stage. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, it felt like it was a character speaking to us, you know, like a soliloquy or something. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, Hazel, we're with you. Oh.
Let's unmute me. Although I'm not sure it'll be an improvement, but there we go. Yeah, this one kind of, this is just really, it's a little acrostic that I did as part of last year's NaPoWriMo. I can't remember exactly what the brief was, but it was something to do with platonic love. So I just took platonic love as the acrostic. Precious, yet so commonplace, we often learn too late its value, coming to appreciate our gift mostly through absence, teaching us the terminology for our experience. Overshadowed by daily interactions, domesticity, we forget to nurture each treasured friendship, each illustrious connection, which immensely enriches our lives with faithful and close companionship, until change comes, as inevitable as death or taxes, life's end, though platonic love endures beyond humble origins, transforming into wisdom and true beauty by virtue of its inherent purity and spirituality, eventually merging with eternal truth. That's that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wisdom in there. A lot of wisdom. Did you want to talk about the writing retreat at Longthwaite?
Oh yes, I forgot actually to get that up, didn't I? Yeah, Rose's. She came along to the poetry launch that you had for those 5 collections. Anyway, and she lives in very near Wigton, kind of, and she's just really keen to have writing retreats for writers. And I'm just trying to find where's the so I know I sent the stuff to you. So it's coming up this Saturday. Sorry about this. Yeah, writing weekend. Bear with me. So it's actually Saturday and Sunday, 9:30 till 4:30. And she's said for aspiring or experienced writers wishing to make progress with a writing project, group sessions in the lounge for inspiration and feedback, or write independently in the snug summer house or garden. So she's charging £50 for a day and £90 for both days, but she is putting in food and excellent coffee. And there is some overnight accommodation available at an additional cost. And she started a Facebook page as well. But if anybody's interested, I am be very happy to. And the address, it's on at High Longthwaite Farm, in Wigton. So there, that's that bit. Thank you. And now I can't get everybody back. I've got no idea where you've all gone. I'm sure you can see me, but I can't see any of you again, oh, here we go. That's better.
All right. You kindly sent me some stuff the other day. I can put some on the Facebook, those images on the Facebook as well, and get the word out.
Thank you.
If that's cool.
Thank you.
Cool. All right.
I did promise that I would publicize it among writerly contacts, as it were. So
well, this is the right place. Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you very much, Hazel. That's great. Okay, we're over with George. Hello, George.
Hi, I was just thinking, I'm coming to Marjorie Lofty's stuff at Wigton, or near Wigton in September. That's very interesting, Hazel. I'll have a look at that. I don't know I can manage this weekend though, but we'll see. I'm a kind of poetry junkie. I like going to workshops and things. You meet such interesting people.
Yes.
And of course they get to
Definitely.
meet me. Your worst nightmare. But anyway, sorry, I'm glad you mentioned Naporumo because I don't know if you're doing it this year, Hazel, but I'm trying it. And in fact, I just remembered at 5 to 7 tonight that I hadn't done the poem for today. So this is the poem written, finished at 7:28 tonight. Spring Bird Song. Because it was write a poem that focuses on birdsong. So this is Spring Birdsong. That heavenly choir that ushers in the dawn sings away the nighttime fears for another day. I switch off the radio and listen to the throng greeting the sun. It may be a call to an affray, territory defended, or a partner to romance. I do not care as their voices fill the air. Spring has come, and with it hopes advance, an army of green marches to another year. I cannot recognise the songster in the tree, regret that I have never tried to recognise, or name the reason summertime is sublime, because it's singing and bringing delight to me. I am ever grateful that nature is so wise, fills the skies with this music of springtime.
Wow, and that's hot off the press, George.
Yeah, it's a sonnet. Well, I think it's a sonnet. I'm hoping it's a sonnet. I haven't done syllable counts or anything, but it does have a rhyme scheme. I can even say it. But I don't know how Hazel finds it, but I love doing Naporumo. But stupidly, I also accepted from Cinnamon a challenge to do 20 poems in 20 days. So now, since the 8th of April, I've got to do 2 poems a day.
I'm sure you can do that masterfully, I'm sure. That's great. Thank you, George. Great stuff. And how is when is NaNoWriMo, is that still on for the rest of this month?
It's on for the whole of April, and you could always pick up the I mean, the prompts are all there. I don't know which one Hazel does. There's a number of people put them up. The one I do is also it's the one I think from America. It's also called Na/Glow Mo because it's Global Writing Month as well. But there are a number of people who do prompts during. Actually, you can do it just about every month of the year. I think someone's got a prompt up somewhere.
Oh wow, cool. Well, that's great. Lots going on. Okay, Jane, we're with you. Hello. You're on mute, Jane. It's all right.
Sorry. I watched everybody else do that and think, oh, didn't turn themselves back on again. I was at the Gather in Ennerdale Bridge not so very long ago, a few days back, and singing with the choir that I sing with. And another choir sang a version of Ted Hughes' Swifts, which was, you know, we're stuck in this little village hall in the middle of nowhere, and there's this amazing experimental music going on. It was fantastic, but it put me in mind of looking for an old poem for this about swifts. Where we live in Spain, swifts nest all round us, and we're very, very high up. So it means you've got this amazing aerial dance when they're nesting and so on. They're amazing, amazing creatures. So this is about that. The air is delicate. The show begins. In the white towns of Tejeda, a catalogue of urban martins. Loop, zoom, climb, scissor, wing over, cobra, dive. Aerial insectivores, aphid seekers. Scarce swallowtails flickering, striped monochrome desertions. Juddering spirals, claps and flings. Urbica, snap roll, flick. Breast sunset peach, blue peaked, beaks of puddle mud, opposition passes, uplines, lazy eights, Herndo, Delichon, Chandal, Chanson. From their winters in Asia and Africa, passerines make close-cut pendant beds of pellets under eaves, mate guarding, marking colonies. Strung CDs and ribbon foils are meant to glitter them away, yet they only scatter, crying, when echoing their flight a hawk glides in, relying on a lack of perspective in its prey. Its crepuscular prowl is fruitless, but it steals the show until an Air Berlin powers through, unzipping the feather pillow sky. Nosing the pink-blue Moroccan horizon, it winks and circles back to Spain, joining all these flyers against the riff in the frame of darkening day. The Martins dogfight, a Sirius dog star, referees in a wide rhomboid of stars, a roof of sky that canopies the summer guests, shrill martinets as they must break to roost. They check their nests for visiting sparrows through narrow apertures, the walled-in midwives with glazed eyes and heaving pulse that decompose in the procreant creche. Cats luge across the terrace after locusts, grey as doves, as I struggle to remember something on the route that I started out of love, the rural graffiti of an unnecessary cairn, something that could lead you back should you be lost, which said, "This was me, here I was." I've realised that's about house martins, not swifts, but it doesn't matter because they're very, very similar. Very, very similar. And there are both.
We'll let you off. We'll let you off. Very good.
All passerines.
Well, I was staying in Lanzarote on holiday the other month, and the hotel where I was staying, the roof space is open, and birds can enter, which might sound a bit messy, but it wasn't. And every morning, I was greeted by a Spanish sparrow chirping away, and it was lovely. I actually did a video of it and stuck it on Facebook because I was so impressed. And it was a lovely idea that brought the natural world into the building. Yeah.
And they're very elegant Spanish sparrows. They're not like ours.
No, they are somewhat different. I was looking for a hoopoe in Lanzarote because I many years ago when Brook Bond Tea had tea cards in their packaging, and they had the various series of to collect like space race and motor cars, and there's one on birds. And I think my favourite card was the hoopoe, this orange, black, and quite, the crested this bird. And when I was going to Lanzarote and read that they are resident there, I thought, oh, great. I didn't get to see one, though. So I did ask, where do they hang out?
But we have them along the coast from us, actually, towards in the countryside there, you see them. And they are something. They're fascinating birds.
Yeah, I'd love to see one in the wild. Hoopoe, making their hoopoe noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That sounds great. Well, we've only got a couple of minutes left on this half before, so I might push the button if we all use the same login to log on again, and then we'll pick up for round 2 if that sounds okay with folks. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'll push the button and see you all in a moment. Good stuff so far, everyone. Thank you so much. I thought your song was great there, Francis, and I think
Yeah, I mean, it's because I did it at the brewery, but of course you got the images for Radio Times, which I managed to get on eBay for 1957. And a picture. I then found a book on Listen with Mother with a lovely 1955 blonde mummy and 2 blonde little kids. I mean, it just, you forget, don't you, how stereotypical everything was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was excellent. So I really enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's very strange times, isn't it, with what's going on over in America?
Yeah, it's hard to comment on it. Well, I was struggling to comment on it without trying to find a suitable frame to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think many people, I think the likes of Armando Iannucci and others have said it's almost impossible to satirize it because it is self-parody almost.
Yeah. I'm going to try and I'm having a go on Saturday at 1, looking at through the eyes of Dr. Seuss. Has anybody come across Dr. Seuss, American?
Yeah.
Wonderful cartoonist, and he's written a book. He wrote a children's story called The Sneetches, which has a sort of salesman. So I'm going to have a go at using his frame to look at Donald Trump as a very iffy salesman. Yeah. Well, I don't know how it'll go. You never know how things will go down, do you? But his illustrations are just fabulous. Yeah.
It does feel like Trump might have escaped from a Dr. Seuss story or something.
Yeah, well, he's back in now, I can tell you. I'll send you the
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah, that sounds
great.
The
version. Yeah,
it's cool. Well, we'll just see if Kevin will jump on the call again. But yeah, that was really good stuff. All that first round there. Cool. Well, we just had a couple of pieces about birds, and I've got a little story about everybody's favorite private investigator, penguin. This is still going. Yeah, I came up with Kung Fu Penguin during the pandemic, and we've had 3 series of adventures with him. Firstly, he was trying to clear his name for a crime he didn't commit. and was investigating skullduggery going on in the city. And then in the second season, he was investigating corruption in City Hall, and there was a baboon who had a very, very familiar kind of nasal kind of tone. He spoke, being in charge of them. He was the mayor. The best mayor, totally the best. And then Series 3 is sort of straight into investigating the paranormal. And we've got up to episode 12, believe it or not. Episode 12 of Series 3. So if you've not heard this before, I do apologise, it probably won't make any sense. And if you've heard all the other episodes, it still won't make any sense. So we'll crack on anyway. But this is the penultimate instalment of Kung Fu Penguin Series 3. And for some reason, everyone in it seems to come from New York. All the accents are New York, so we'll see how it goes. And there's a bit of singing. You'll enjoy that, Francis. Okay, here we go. Previously, private investigator, Kung Fu Penguin, disgraced physics professor and paranormal podcaster Davinia Brush, space adventurer Ray Beam, mystic Alaska May Fortune, Professor Schrodinger, returned with general malaise to the Piccolo Institute for the Science of the Strange, based in the desert at the Skin Crawler Ranch, owned by the eccentric millionaire Brian Piccolo. The entrepreneur has the metallic artifact known as the Moscovian core, which Professor Schrodinger found on an archaeological dig some 30 years ago alongside a mysterious large egg-shaped spacecraft which was spirited away by the military. Brian Piccolo revealed a second egg-shaped craft was discovered after the band of misfits' previous visit, and what's more, they'd cracked a way to get inside the spacecraft. That's the level of the jokes. General Malaise grew tired of Piccolo's New Age approach, as he has orders coming from the shadowy global cabal known as the Criminal Collective. Piccolo revealed their research has led them to believe the alloy focuses consciousness and opens up a myriad of possibilities into realms of science previously thought too fringe. Ray Beam stunned everyone when he announced that he had arrived from a parallel world through just such technology. Are we with me so far? Oh, good. Ray Beam grinned heroically before brushing back his silver quiff. Where I come from, we have spacecraft and rocket ships. We also travel through space, time, and different dimensions in pods on research missions. We document other worlds, catalog species, record and preserve a record in the holographic universe. It's like having a backup in case we need to reboot the universe. Reboot the universe? Kung Fu Penguin allowed the words to sink in. Why would you need to do that? Asked Ms. Brush nervously. I don't know, and I don't want to find out. But I'd say it's better to be safe than sorry. I thought you said you were on a rescue mission. Yes, that's my job. Security agent first class. If there's a dangerous job, then I'm the one to do it. I'm looking for Trudy Window. She's a headstrong, independent young woman. She was sent on a reconnaissance mission, scanning and mapping your world. But something must have happened because we lost contact, and she missed her rendezvous with the others. Maybe her craft was buried, and was the one Professor Schrodinger found in the archaeological dig 30 years ago. Schrodinger nodded thoughtfully. Yeah, that's possible. The office door opened, and in strode Rick Splinter. There's an urgent telephone call for General Malaise. They said it was the dodecahedron, or the hexagon. Heard the Pentagon? Snarled the General. That's the one. They want to know what their submarine is doing in the desert. I'll show you where the telephone is. Follow me. Miss Fortune gestured to the door. All right, grumbled the General. Nobody do anything until I get back. The door swung shut as Splinter followed the departing duo. The Kung Fu Penguin shook his head. But where is Trudy? Maybe she was trying to find somewhere which was open-minded enough to these technological possibilities. You mean somewhere like this? The Piccolo Institute for the Science of the Strange? Yes, somewhere just like this. As well as the mapping of our worlds, she was one of our most gifted scientists, studying extrasensory abilities, one of our top psionic experts. Ms. Brush perked up. I really need to interview her for my Dr. Bobcat Investigates podcast. Kung Fu Penguin frowned. And who is leading your team into this research, Mr. Piccolo? Oh, why, it's Dora Hinge. Now, just suppose for a moment, could Trudy Window and Dora Hinge be one and the same person? Dun dun dun. Piccolo smiled. Well, why don't we ask her? With that, the group walked through the door of the office into the large, sterile white lab. Technicians in white coats pored over consoles, as a little figure carried out the orders of the large character, the elephant in the room, besides the egg-shaped craft that sat at the center of the chamber, of course. There was a hatch open that led inside the oval craft. Oh, this is Dora's assistant, Spike. He's a hedgehog. Probably a prickly customer. He's one of our extrasensory... yeah, there we go. He's our extrasensory perception or psionic expert. So, you're Psionic the Hedgehog, eh? Thank you, George. Thank you. I just helped Professor Hinge with the calculations and the experiments. The smooth-talking Silver Fox stared at the chief scientist, and her eyes filled with longing. Dora! Where's that Trudy? Now I have to think of a voice. Red Beam! Oh, I'd nearly given up hope. Is it really you? It's my scientist lady voice. There we are. Of course it's me. Never give up hope. I couldn't leave one of our greatest minds behind now, could I? We were so worried about you. I was worried about you. What are you doing here? You came back for me. Trudy, it's very melodramatic. Trudy, I thought I'd lost you. I thought I didn't matter to you. I was wrong. And I've been trying to find you, honey, because of how I feel about you. And now we segue into the musical number, because I'm trying to pitch this as a musical. Tim Rice isn't answering on my calls, neither's Andrew Lloyd Webber, no one else. Maybe I'll try Eric Idle, I don't know. Here we go. You thought I didn't care, but I've been searching everywhere, for now my heart's laid bare, 'cause I think we're the perfect pair. It nearly drove me out my mind, waiting patient all this time, for you to finally find we're two of a kind. You light my way up with your glow, you maybe didn't even know, it's just the way it goes, it's starting to look a lot like love, I suppose. Take my hand and don't let go, there's one thing I want you to know, forever's too long to never be together. Oh, Trudy, I'd buy you rubies and take you to the movies. Please don't fool me. Oh, Trudy, I love you truly. You light my way up with your glow, you maybe didn't even know, that's just the way it goes. It's starting to look a lot like love, I suppose. Remember our mill, everybody, you've got to give me sympathy. Now I feel it so much more, don't hide behind your door, if you had the time, I'd gladly make you mine. You're in my every dream, always loving, never mean. You're the best I've ever seen, I'd be lost without Ray Beam. You light my way with your glow, you maybe didn't even know, that's just the way it goes. It's starting to look a lot like love, I suppose. Piccolo smiled. Oh, in that case, we'd better send you both home. I would think once you get back to your dimension, you'll revert to whatever form you are there. I doubt you'll be a wolf and an elephant there. Thank you, Mr. Piccolo, Trudy beamed. It's been an experience that I'll never forget. Ray Beam took Trudy in his arms and turned to his friends. Well, thank you all. It's been a blast. Goodbye. They ducked inside the egg-shaped craft, and the entrance closed up. Then the equipment all began to hum and vibrate. Switches were flicked and dials turned. Little needles danced on the control panel. The Moscovian core focuses light, sound, and frequency waves to create a megatronic energy bubble, which enables those inside to traverse between one realm of existence to another. I know the Dr. Bobcat Investigate viewers will find all this fascinating. Well, we've refined the recording of the chant that opened the dimensional window last time with our equipment. It should stabilize the portal long enough to send you through. As they watched, a pulse of white light illuminated from the emitters, and suddenly a large shimmering bubble encircled the ship. And then suddenly, without warning, it vanished. The power ebbed away through the machinery. Kung Fu nodded. Kung Fu Penguin nodded. I always like a happy ending. At that moment, General Malaise and Alaska May Fortune walked through the door. Right. Now, where were we? Hey, where's the craft gone? And the heroically good-looking one? Suddenly the door opened again, and Rick Splinter stood there, an anxious look etched on his face. Mr. Piccolo, sir. There are 2 men in dark suits willing to see you in reception. At long last, Kung Fu Penguin and his friends have finally got some answers. But what are the ramifications for the world regarding what the Piccolo Institute for Science of the Strange has learned from their investigations? Will General Malaise be in hot water with the Pentagon over the submarine debacle? Has anyone been watching the Dr. Bobcat Investigates podcast? Just who are the mysterious men in dark suits, and what do they want? Find out next time in the thrilling final installment of Kung Fu Penguin. There we are. Thank you very much for listening. We will dispense with the theme tune. That will have to be one for another time.
Well, I hope you kept all these recordings to splice together so that you get the whole thing from beginning to end. Get all them back out. This is brilliant.
Yeah. Well, that's the only reason we do these calls. Thank you all for listening. Thank you. Roz, I think it's your turn to follow that. What have you got?
Can't follow that. Oh, nice. Well, I've got a little haiku. This was because somebody said to me the other day, my hair must have been looking slightly tidier, but people pay good money to have hair like that. I thought, do they? So anyway, I'll come out with this. I have my own style. The drag through the hedge backwards, effortlessly chic. Thank you very much. That's haiku to describe myself.
That was brilliant. I like that a lot. Thank you, Roz. That kind of sits with the unfinished abandoned limerick. So yeah, that was good. Thank you, Roz. Francis, we're back with you. What have you got for us this time?
Okay. Yeah, I went to a 60th birthday party just before Christmas in Manchester and Manchester, and they had a band there, and they were doing all the great Manchester hits, Stone Roses, New Order. Everybody was singing along, and although I'm from Merseyside originally, I taught in Manchester for 20 years, and I love the kids' voices. I just love the Manchester accent, their little sayings like "mad for it" and "top for it." So at the beginning of the evening, early on in the evening, an Elvis impersonator burst in, and he was, how can I say this? He was an older version. In fact, it was Elvis's 90th birthday. It would have been 90 on the 8th of January. So it kind of fitted that this ancient Elvis should make his entrance. And it kind of led me to this Manchester voice, this piece. All right, so I hope you're up for a bit of Mank. All right, I went to a party on Saturday night The music was thumping. The lights was bright. The door burst open. What a fright! In walked Elvis. His trousers too tight. Upon his hips, looped golden chains, ripped denim trousers exposing varicose veins. He stumbles backwards, banging shut the door. He might be pissed. He's about 64. He's wobbling around with dubious intent. He spotted a woman and he looks hell-bent on sharing his moves and strutting his stuff. Things could get heavy. Things could get tough. Then, with a swivel of his hips, things calm down, and a crooning Elvis wipes away the frowns. He's moved to the bar, no longer in a hurry. The audience ignoring him. They're not bothered, tucking into their curry. In the shift of a tune from the backing tape, the room's gone all friendly. It's a lucky escape, I realise in a philosophical moment where the power lies, and my perception's quite potent. But the means of production at this party event belongs to the karaoke, not Elvis, who's winding us up with his every move, trying to beguile us with his rock and roll groove. His 20-minute set has become an hour. And if I can get to the karaoke's power and flick the switch and say farewell to the king, his jailhouse rock will be transferred to Sing Sing. For the sheen has dulled on the gold disc gilding. We're past the moment Elvis should have left the building. Like John Lennon said in a moment of instant calmie, Elvis died when he joined the army. I sneak round to the back of the stage because karaoke plugs into a wire cage. It's dead dark and hard to see. So I close my eyes and I count to 3. Then all I can remember is a hell of a flash. And then I come round. I'm at a celestial bash. There's no singing or dancing. It's a boxing ring. A bloke with an entourage who calls himself the king. It's not Muhammad Ali or the leader of Gabon. It's Presley, and he's eye to eye with John, oh no, Lennon. Obviously, it's a grudge match, that remark about the army. But Lennon's no longer a scrapper. He's a man of peace, an instant calmie. While I'm having that thought, there's a thump on my chest and a defibrillating experience burns a hole in my vest. And you'll never guess who's the machine operator. It's the focus of my criticism, my cheap music beta. It's the aging Elvis impersonator, and I'm filled with guilt and consumed with shame. Who was I to trumpet such a snobby refrain? So he has limited skills as an Elvis impersonator. But I tell you what, he's ace with a defibrillator. As a gesture of my thanks for the round-trip Hades cruise, I send Elvis a pair of luxury blue suede shoes. I dropped them in a mailbox. I sent them special D, but to my surprise, he sent them right back to me. He wrote upon them, no need for prezzies, no need for thanks. Turning off the karaoke, it were a right funny prank. I'm an aging Elvis, not giving up, and you're a daring prankster that's been all shook up.
That's that age-old question, isn't it, of how do you get Elvis to leave the building? That's great. And I like the Manchester voice as well. That was good. You got skills. That was great. You could do a whole series of meeting these musical tribute acts.
Yeah. He was quite sleazy, actually, but I just
sleazy Elvis.
Yeah, it was funny in retrospect. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, it was like we were all there. It was conjured up an image for us all. Thank you, Francis. Jeffrey, do you have another one for us?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
not too long. I'll just read it. I think James heard this before. We kept a real unicorn when I was small. It lived in a shed in our back garden and only came out at night. The rent book said domestic pets solely could be kept. So we used to hide it during the day, stabled in our shed and told to keep quiet. But if anyone knew, Dad feared they'd tell, and our unicorn would be taken away. It's hard to keep a unicorn a secret. It leaves big hoof prints in every flower bed. It once escaped and came through the back door when it was raining. A nosy rent man, looking in our windows, saw its grey-white face like a haunting ghost, staring back at him. The shock sent him flying, and he landed in the middle of our overgrown lawn, his spectacles somewhere in the long grass. He said he'd report us to the council, but no one believed his tale. Unicorns, they laughed, aren't found on a housing estate or anywhere else, for everyone knows they never existed in the first place. So Dad got a padlock for the shed door and hoped our unicorn would understand. But one winter day, Dad lost his job. Our unicorn had to be got rid of. I still hear that night of its long crying and the beat of hooves as it departed. The end.
Oh, that was a sad ending for the. I hope the unicorn.
It's something about childhood.
Mm.
The magic of childhood eventually goes, doesn't it? You know, things you believe in childhood. You know, invisible friends or whatever. But one day, they disappear forever. I hope that's not too much explanation.
It was. Yeah. It was lovely though. It's a lovely piece. You performed it really beautifully as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, Hazel.
I'm not sure some of us have got rid of some of our imaginary friends, to be honest, but I did really like that unicorn. I thought it was lovely. Anyway, this George was saying, how did I get, or have I been doing this year's? And I have, a bit patchily. I think sometimes I've just been doing haiku, but this one kind of, it's a bit rough. I think you're very brave to read something that was written about 20 minutes ago, George. But anyway, this one's called Time's Gentle Embrace. Yesterday, I opened your book of haiku days, your joyous smile marking the page, and opening the brand new box of my day with wonder and still shared delight in wordplay. Your haiku, immersing slowly in the cool and plangent pool under hoops of light, transporting me poolside, writing together under a sunny Somerset sky. Of course, you captured the moment and shared it. It features regularly in my digital memories. From there to where you skinny dipped in the pool of the chateau near Montpellier, where Martin Sayre got married while I sat writing, wreathed in the smoke from the young people talking and drinking. Your designated driver, I abstained from joining you that time in wild intoxication. Our friendship started when I stepped into a different classroom to fill the gap my Open University studies had left. First one launch, Frozen Summer, then another, Sleeping in Sand, and I stayed with you to polish off that last bottle of red. You declined Dublin for my 40th, but I tempted you, maybe more intoxicated acquiescence, with Paris and Shakespeare's books, which started our capering through magical synchronicities, from gallery to gallery, cafe to cafe, bar to bar, armed with notebooks, yours always tiny, with minuscule writing. New York, London, Paris, not Munich, and not in that order, but instead Lille, Brussels, Barcelona, Montpellier, for poem wishes in the wish tree. The bright thread of writing took us through different jobs, mine. You were a full-time freelance. Through romances, yours and mine, mostly fleeting for both until latterly. Liquid Jam and Live and Lippy. My transplantation to a different county until pandemic innovation meant we picked up collaboration again. Our joint collection a delight, blighted with the news it would be our last print collection together, if not our last project. Definitely getting there. Time holds us in her gentle embrace. Your book of haiku days, not my only, still shared delight, an ongoing inspiration from an extraordinary process partnering through the years. Sorry, if that's a bit indulgent, I am sorry, but I enjoyed writing it. Anyway, thank you.
That was really lovely, Hazel, and a celebration of you and Chrissy and all the work you did together, and her talent and your talent. That's great. Love that. Thank you. Okay, George.
Yeah. Well, I'll do another Napoleon more than one, Hazel. Well, I was going to do one anyway, so I pretend it was inspired. This is from day 4. So this is values. There are paintings and there are these. 2 of my own pencil drawings, a few hours of happiness, and now they hang in prominent position. I glance frequently to see Margaret watching as I draw. At the caravan sun falls on Arn, I hold them up for her approval. She never saw them here, she never saw this house. No dogs distract my gaze, yet she and them are here. Held in the frames, in every line I made of riders on their horses, I ride into contentment. Are they any good? That's not the point. These pictures open my own treasures.
That was really lovely as well, George. That was, yeah, there's a very personal quality to both those 2 pieces. Thank you. Jane, over to you. Your answer.
I was going to read a poem that I wrote to a prompt on Friday, but I'm afraid I write on my phone normally, and it's on paper, and I've been trying to read it. I can't read it. It's no, I won't do it. I'll try and write it up and do it next time. I'll do an old one. You've heard this before, but I haven't done it for a bit. To find it. This was in a SpeakEasy magazine in 2017. It's called Bequeathed. I've lost a couple of friends very recently, one on Sunday, sadly, old school friend, and you start to think about the past and those losses. I think as you get older, I think it was Barbara Rennell said, when you're young, you're always writing about love and hope and all those things, and also heartbreak, all that stuff. And as you get older, you write about loss and death, and I think that's probably true. Anyway, this is about my dad. Very soon, that will be Phil's violin, as when the morning after comes, Mother will give or throw everything away. Where things go, she has decided already. You haven't got up in ages, Dad. I'm here beside you, staring forensically close too. You're normally so dapper at a distance, but your blue, unshaven face is a disguise, and in these oversized, sweaty striped pyjamas, silhouetted in the light of the splintered window with subsided sill, you look, well, you know what you look like. In the new dark days of old images that will also come, it will remind me what we no longer care about, nor more give a hoot for. You'd be surprised. The frayed formica top of this homespun bedside table, not made by you, is still filled with as yet unflushed pills, the ones that gave you bursting headaches. You won't miss those. And an unread book I've read in snatches but barely understood, Round the Bend by Neville Shute. I have an earworm, Dad. My father always promised us. It's kidding me, he didn't. You smell young for a man about to die. I like that, though I wonder why it is. You've long been a stranger to suddenness, so maybe not get up that quickly. Your blood pressure will hit the lino. That's funny. You're growing smaller as you come round the bed. It isn't real. It's a put-you-up, giant, sprung, a seaside pier of iron underneath, above a close green forest of maquette, seen from a plane in which you'll never fly. But I will, soon. Your fiddle is beneath the bed, with a potty in the Elgar, the empty Chivers jars with spoons of spoon-punctured metal tops, and in one the silk pink cherry half that cannot decompose. You saved it for me, but didn't spell it. Also archived, the Helena Paulette Electric, the condition of which is a litmus strip for how you are today. I saw him polishing his camera, I'd offer her. The winding cloth of handkerchief is there over the open leather catacomb of case. The camera is probably somewhere in the bed, amid the flannelette, the cellular blanket, the ploughed chenille coverlet. You slough off achingly, according to the season. We have let slip. I forget, but it isn't June quite yet. The fiddle, however, is for now up beneath your dark, unpollarded skin. Hand on the bow, all is a silver of shivering string. Face wrapped, shining badly, wet, lost, gone from me into the halls and for the leftovers from long post-war trestle tables set with checkered Battenberg and little antlered babycham. Your feet are in black shoes, planted on pitted parquet floors littered with faded dints from the obliterating clack of wartime. Behind your eyes and shut lips there are tunes in mellow tunnels making sway. The old Acne chado made by the violin is a bruise beneath your chin, the ever sideways glance drawn towards its gleaming upward side, and you, like Narcissus sleepy at the lakeside, cheek resting on the cheek of your reflection, sated, hypnotized, lids closed. I can smell half crowns of cucumber, a raincoat steaming on the stair door, all the musty markers, the shallow felt insides of the sewing drawer, the scent of pencils, the fleet, frail, stale human of us fading. Oh, the thorn in the side pity of it. The stories and the songs and the parting of the sea of it, waiting, wanting to touch it all, yet neither with my left hand nor my right. Let me put a pillow here beneath to catch you. You, and old to you, but new to him. That which will soon be Philip's violin.
That's Jane. It's brilliant poet.
Oh,
It's about her dad dying.
yeah. Many years ago, Kevin. More than 50 years ago. Long time ago. When I was very young.
Wow. Thank you, Jane. That's a beautiful poem and
Thank you.
very powerful. And I'm sorry about your recent losses and your friend on.
Yeah. It's an occupational hazard. I was 70 last week, and the losses escalate as you go on, and you just I don't think getting old's for the faint-hearted, but the alternative is worse.
Well, many happy returns for your birthday, though. So there
Thank
you are. Okay, we're getting towards the end of this second half. just use the same login. We could do one more quick spin round if people are up for that. And yeah, it's good. All right. Use the same login, and I'll see you again in just a second.
I was just thinking with Francis, Elvis McGonagall calls Trump the tangerine troll, which I think is very apt.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. He's a troll, isn't he?
And he's kind of tangerine as well.
Oh, yeah. There's no debating that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
The problem, I think, is that much as many people dislike what he's doing, they look on it as that my enemy's enemy is my friend. So because he's racist and homophobic and all the things, but there's a lot of people who hate these things so much that they'll accept everything else he does simply because they think he's going to destroy the people they hate.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that, George. I think it's very strange that this sort of has taken root in America the way it has in the last few years. I mean, perhaps people took their eye off the ball and didn't realize how disenfranchised people were, and he's tapped into that, and he'll promise them anything. And he promises so many people so many different things. He ends up contradicting himself all the time. But they're whipped up in this hysteria. It's very strange. Anyway, shall we crack on for one last quick round? Yeah, this is a bit of a sort of a word doodle like I came up with the other day. It's called Flying Like a Bird. And she's flying like a bird, flying far away. She's flying like a bird, flying far away. I'd like to see her again, maybe one day. She's soaring through the skies, never looking back. Music all surrounds her, hear the choir sing. She's flying like a bird, flying far away. I'd like to see her again, maybe one day. I always see your smile, remembering your style, like kisses on the breeze, putting me at ease. She's flying like a bird, flying far away. I'd like to see her again, maybe one day. And she's flying like a bird, flying far away. She's flying like a bird, flying far away. I'd like to see her again, maybe one day. There you are, flying like a bird. Thank you. Right then, Roz, over to you.
I fished out this earlier when I was trying to find something to read. I've read it before, but I can't remember when or wherever. It's called Waterways. Lakes are resting places for water. Nurtured by fresh rainwater, lakes are still wells of wisdom that lie in landscape long devoted to them, nestled and cradled by hills, glorified by trees, grasses and flowers. They teem with wildlife. They are the heart of their community. To gaze across a lake is to feel contentment. Rivers are the carriers of water. Rivers are playful, adolescent waters, never still, running all over the place, trying to carve out their niche, changing course, making mistakes. They create riverbanks of beauty They are raging torrents of destruction, delightful but dangerous. Gazing at their water, you know it cannot be trusted. Seas are the destination of water. The sea is vast and constantly arrives, crashing in like an old friend returning, as wave after wave washes up on the shore. You must turn your back to the land to gaze where the water and the sky meet, to the haze of an uncertain horizon, filled with endless possibilities. You must have faith to enter the ocean. Rainwater recycles lakes, rivers, and seas. Our relationship with rain is ambiguous. We wish it would go away when it arrives and pray for it to come should it not. Water is necessary for all life. Our bodies are compiled of 60% water. Rain provides us with fresh drinking water. We should admire it more than we do. It generously gives us lakes, rivers, and seas. And that was that poem. Thank you.
I mean, it's quite amazing, isn't it? The water and the water cycle, and you think that all the water on the planet is all the water on the planet that there's ever been. You know, it stays, it just transforms into different forms and that, but it's sort of stuck in this loop. That's quite amazing, really. Thank you, Roz. It was beautiful. That was great. Okay, Francis. I think Francis has dipped out, so we're over to Jeffrey. If you have another for us.
Well, again, I keep it short. No explanation at this stage. He smoked his pipe in the evenings, walked beneath the sky each morning, and all of his tomorrows were the same, until the evening he paused and contemplated the infinite, the terrible stillness of the stars, millions overhead, billions far beneath. He raised an arm and lifted down a sun, cupping its furnace and light in his palm, finding his own reflection in the flames. And it was the evening of the 5th day. How to explain it? Well, in Genesis, God creates man on the 6th day. I'm running together, I think, something of Genesis creation account in Genesis, and also the idea of Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods and gave it to men. God perhaps found the essence of man in fire, in heat, in light. So that's my thinking for what if it's worth anything.
That's brilliant. That's fascinating. It is interesting when you look at different beliefs and religions and things that there are parallels with things, like that, having to steal something to create life and how what is it in Genesis with the creation of Adam from the dust, from the dirt, from the
that's right. Yes, from dust. I suggested that God looks in the sun that he takes down from the sky and sees his own reflection and decides to make man. That's what it is. And, he finds man in the flames.
Well, it's amazing when you think about the theory of evolution and life being in the oceans and then crawling out of the primordial soup of that mud. So out of the mud, eventually there is the ancestors that turn into human beings. So there's a strange.
I think most scientists now romantically assure us that we're made of stardust.
Yeah.
The chemicals in our bodies came out of the stars and will effectively one day return to the stars. So that's something I was thinking of as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor Brian Cox is always saying, the stars are the engines of the universe.
Of the universe.
They produce every element.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And you're right. I think there's something in that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's sad when he always goes, and eventually all the stars will separate out so the night sky will be black and there won't be anything. And you're like, oh, Brian, we've strayed into sort of invisible territory here.
The heat death of the universe, eventually, I mean, there are all sorts of theories about what, keeps the universe going, and will it end? It may not end. It may always have existed and always will exist. I don't know, just keep recycling itself. But yeah, I suppose if everything is consumed, all the energy and all the material in the universe is one day consumed, then there will be nothing, and time will stop and light will go out. That's it. So I don't know. I don't know what the prevailing sort of wisdom is about that at the moment. Yeah.
Well, they often bring up his famous pop song that he played keyboards on, where he says, but things can only get better. He goes, but that's wrong. They can only get worse.
Yeah. Not if you're looking through a telescope. No.
True. Thank you, Jeffrey. That was we strayed into some very philosophical elements there. Yeah, it's good. Got to think about these things. Got to think about them. Thank you, Hazel. Follow that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can. But anyway, I thought I'd go back to day 7 of NaPoWriMo, or however you say it. And this one was explain why you're not something or other. And so this is why I'm not a sonnet. I'm not a sonnet, the controlled, mannered sequences of courtiers in an arm's length gavotte, stylized movement. I most definitely am not. I would be, if I could be, the wildness of trance dancing, dervish whirling, resisting the neat constraint of 14-line containment. Sonnets don't invite orchid dreaming. I'm not a sonnet. Iambic pentameter is an irregular fit. Syncopation in syllables, perhaps, but the regularity of repeating iam's rhythm evades me. I'm not a drummer either. Sonnets don't include orchid dreaming. 3 quatrains, Shakespearean or English, or 8 lines followed by 6, Petrarchan or Italian. Sheesh, 3 lines or 30 maybe, straggling down a page to a potential conclusion, or I might drift to a stop. Cleverly marshalled, even quatrains stepping their way to a rhyming couplet to close, tidying its parcel of words. That's as much me as wrestling jelly. No wonder sonnets don't allow orchid dreaming. The sonnet has rules, must make me don my rebel robe, dig in my Doc Marten heels and say, who made the rules? Patriarch poets. But breaking the rules of a sonnet is like taking a hammer to Waterford crystal. You can't drink from a shattered pile. Sonnets forbid orchid dreaming. Rigidity, inflexible rules, these are not for me. I choose fluidity, the flamboyant flight of raptors, of harriers out on the marsh, free from all those rulings, rhythms, rhyme schemes. Rhyming won't encourage orchid dreaming. Though admittedly, I'm not an orchid either. It's very silly, that bit anyway.
I like that. That was great. That curveball ending as well. I like that. Really cool. Thank you. Oh, do you remember all those Shakespeare sonnets that people had a go at doing for the? Was it tying in with the Olympics? I think or something. And was it Nick? Somebody said it was like trying to wrestle an octopus into a box because it was all those lines and syllables and everything. Crazy times. Okie dokie. George, what do you got for us?
Yeah. Right, I'll do another Napolitano, but it's not. This is day 16, I think it was. This is Central Station, Glasgow. I can remember a steam locomotive, its power belching to the roof, when this place was thrilling and emotive, before the electric and the diesel stood aloof, sentenced us to years and years of boredom. But I retain that rhythm deep within. Leonard Cohen is beating in my cranium. I want the revolution to begin. Bigots in Manhattan will never take Berlin. A guitar strums the strings of my disgust. Madmen grabbing power and full of lust are teaching compassion is a sin. Pastors in the USA are blessing hatred. I watch passengers boarding trains. Hope enough people have disdain for those who find a tyrant sacred. Destinations on the boards forever changing. I'm hearing warnings in my brain. I'm trusting that love will win the game. But there'll be deaths in the battles raging before we take Manhattan and keep Berlin. I remember the glorious days of steam, many thoughts like Dr. Beeching to derail it. With promised greatness overstated did assail it. Others kept the music, I keep my dreams. As millions plant forget-me-nots, the oldest hands the smallest tots, with flowers of love and love's retorts, will overwhelm the bigots. First we'll take Manhattan.
Wow, George, that was very powerful. That was good. A lot in there. Yeah. Well, you spoil us with your poems sometimes, George.
Yes, I really recommend Napolitano because it makes you tackle things that you wouldn't otherwise be doing. This was to impose a song more or less in a place that you know and have it interweave with the place that you know. And
Oh, you've gone
I
on.
don't think many of us can get away from Trump and the madness at the moment. So nearly everything you end up picking up, it comes in there somewhere.
Yeah. No. Some great points in there, George. That was great. Really, really like the sentiments there. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, Jane, we're back with you.
I'm tempted to try and read that one I tried to write, actually. And it's between that and one of those sonnets you were talking about. I've just found one of the sonnets I did for Nick's thing. But I'm reluctant to read that because I don't know what the hell it's about. I just read it, just thought I have no idea what I was writing about. No idea. It's completely obscure. So I might try and read this. It's called Spring Wedding. And it's really horrible to read. I knew what she'd done from the photograph that she sent a photograph at all. I knew because of her pale pink shoes, the slight heel that gave the game away. Her tall coated frame shivering in spring sunshine, her feet exposed like blackbird shuffled pulled up bulbs. Her shirt white and frail like late narcissi. Her skirt too long, black and white like a cloudy night, milk spilt on ink. His shoulders back and stiff, deciding not to hunch against the cold, conscious of his school teacher at the start of day registration smartness, both of them conscious of their unaccustomed feet. They are so tall, their backs against the sea at Oban, like masts braced, ready for spring in this confetti of blossom, firm too, I think, against any coming storm. That's it. I can't remember what the prompt was. But that actually happened very recently. And it was the pale pink shoes that gave it away.
Well, that's great. You never know where inspiration is going to come from next.
No.
Well, that's cool. Well, I got one more to round things out here, and then we'll wrap up. There's been a few people writing about the impact of AI on poetry and life and all sorts of things. So these are just some ramblings I came up with. It's called AI Paints by Numbers. What is originality? What is art? What is art to become? What is life? What is life to become? With you and without you, my huckleberry friend. In this paperless digital age, AI paints by numbers. Zeros and ones, zeros and ones. Computers learn like we learn. Copy, recite, create, deviate, originate. Do we embed the page with a part of our soul? Decode the double helix of another? Read between the lines, words from the heart, etchings from a hand, prints placed on rock face, forever, once upon a time. Works of infinite imagination sieved and scoured through by unfeeling entities, limited by set parameters. AI regurgitates but lacks the true spark of originality. Where is the thought, the struggle, the pain, the tears, the courage to overcome those doubts and fears? But this magician's apprentice doesn't get writer's block. AI paints by numbers. Zeros and ones. Zeros and ones. There you are. Thank you very much. Alright, there we are. That brings us to the end of another SpeakEasy online session. It's been great. Give yourselves a round of applause for everyone who's read, and everyone who listened, everyone who sang, everyone who left before the end, and everyone who stayed. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Get home safe, and we'll do it again next month, and then we'll be on a bit of a summer break. But keep an eye out on social media, Facebook, for those events and bits and pieces. And yeah, really good stuff from everybody. Thank you so much for.
I think I may not be around next month, Phil. I think I can't remember. I'm wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. Next month's next month's May. Wait a minute. Trust. Anyway, if I'm around, I'll come.
Fantastic. Okay, that's great. Well, as I say, be more information out and about soon on the socials, as the young people say. So yeah, but until then, take care.
Right.
Thanks. You soon,
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.